Welcome in everyone to the Larsonland podcast. I'm your host, Sawyer Hill. Dylan couldn't make it on the show today due to some prior commitments, but me and Dylan come on here every single Wednesday and talk about all things involving the 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion, Young Money Kyle Larson. This weekend at Darlington was one to forget for Young Money Kyle Larson. He had a blown engine early in the race that took him out. He ended up finishing 36th after starting second on the weekend. Got rolling pretty good in qualifying after facing a penalty, losing a crew member, and pit selection prior to practice and qualifying on Friday for passing inspection on the third try. But Kyle looked fast early in the race. He led 30 or 40 laps early there. It looked like he had a car that was capable of winning the race, but unfortunately got next to Kyle Busch at one point there early and spun, sent him to the rear, and no damage on the car really, but had to work his way through, got back up inside the top 10, and then that's when it all went wrong from there. The blown engine, Kyle reported it on the radio. They brought the car down pit road, and really Cliff tried to do everything he could to get the car back running, but at the end of the day, it was a 36th place result for Kyle, and really not much to talk about as far as Darlington. So, yeah, just unfortunate for the number 5 team, but I know that really it was out of their control. I don't think there's anything that Kyle could have done differently to prevent it. Just bad luck, and seems like it's just been one of those seasons so far for Kyle. But I'm sure it'll turn around here as we we get into the middle part of the season. So crazy move by Logano there at the end of the Darlington race to take the win over William Byron. I was really cheering on Byron at the end there after Kyle was out, but yeah, just in my opinion, an unacceptable move there by Joey Logano. I think in those last 3 or 4 laps, he looked like he had a lot more speed than William Byron, and really could have, I think, passed him clean. And he chose to take another route. I know he said that Byron had forced him up into the wall on a prior restart, but really, I don't think there's any excuse for him to make a move like that. It looked like it was a blatant move to plow him up the track and take the win. And ultimately, I mean, I could see it a little bit more if it was on the last lap, but that was with 2 to go. And yeah, just really a questionable move by Logano, but he's done that time in and time out, and we'll see. I think William Byron has a lot of speed. He looks like he's been the best out of the 400 cars, I'll say for sure. He's been the most consistent. I mean, I know Chase Elliott's been up there too, but he hasn't really had the wins and the dominant performances to go along with it. But the Hendrick camp looks really good. So all in all, I'm not really worried about Kyle's engine issues. I think that as we get going into the season here, I think Kyle's gonna even out, and he'll be just as good as William and Chase, and Bowman's been good too. He also has a win on the season. So before this weekend at Darlington, Kyle Larson did race at the Millbridge Speedway earlier in the week on Wednesday. Kyle actually showed up late to that race. He missed hot laps and ended up qualifying, making it there in time for qualifying, and qualified pretty decent on the night. But again, just a rough night for him. He was running fifth with Christopher Bell leading that A main, and while he was fifth, he had some sort of problem that wasn't really announced what it was, but he had to go to the hot pit area. They got it fixed up, and he came back to the rear, but ended up coming back up to finish seventh in that event. Kyle Larson's getting a lot of practice in at Millbridge. I think that coming up here in a couple weeks, it was announced that Kyle's going to be um, running with the Extreme Outlaw Midget Series. That new series is going to be the first race of their series there at Millbridge, a double-header event. If you subscribe to Kyle Larson's newsletter on his website, you would have saw that already. But I'll leave a link down below in the description of this video for the Kyle Larson newsletter, so you can stay up to date with all of the things that he announces. But like I said, Kyle finished seventh there at Millbridge, and Christopher Bell took home the win. So not a surprise there. But Kyle's just overall getting some good practice in for that midget event at Millbridge coming up in a couple weeks. Not sure completely whose car Kyle Larson is going to be driving there. We know he does have his own midget that he ran out in California, and the same one that he ran in the Chili Bowl earlier this year. But we saw last year at the BC 39 there at the IMS dirt track where he ran one of Chad Boat's cars, and he's been running Chad Boat's micros there at Millbridge for these events, and we'll see what he does. But I think either way, Kyle Larson's going to be um, a strong contender for the win in that event. Looking ahead to the upcoming weekend for NASCAR, they'll head to Kansas with the Cup Series, and really good track for Kyle, I think, to bounce back from this past weekend at Darlington. Kyle is the defending winner at Kansas from back in October when he picked up the win after starting on the pole. Really just a dominant performance from Kyle that day. He led 130 laps in that fall race en route to his win. And then also earlier in the spring race at Kansas, he led 132 laps before ultimately finishing 19th. But Kansas is a really good track. It seems like Kyle and the Hendrick cars have been strong on the mile and a half. So I would expect Kyle to have a car just as good as he did this past weekend, and hopefully be up there competing for a win. So just a good track for Kyle statistically over the years with some good finishes. So hopefully this HendrickCars.com number 5 team bounces back and finds their way to victory lane this coming weekend. As far as Kyle Larson's dirt schedule goes, there has been a lot of confusion amongst the community. I've seen a lot of people in our messages on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook asking us about where Kyle's going to be this night or that night. And to be honest, we do as good as we can trying to keep up with everything, but um, Kyle has a lot of obligations that come along with being a full-time NASCAR Cup Series driver. So we just ask that you guys don't get frustrated when Kyle can't make a particular race. This week in particular has been a tricky one. It was kind of advertised on social media from some of the tracks, Spoon River and Lincoln, that Kyle was going to be there and race with the Flow Racing Night in America series on Wednesday night and Thursday night. And it's kind of went back and forth on that thing, and now it's kind of looks like Kyle's not going to be at Lincoln. They're saying that he had some prior commitments that was going to force him not to be able to be there. So right now we have Lincoln as a doubtful event for Kyle, and then as far as Spoon River goes, I think that one is also an event that is questionable right now because we just really don't know if they're going to make that trip up to Illinois just for one race. So we'll see on that one. So up on the screen we have, if you're watching on YouTube, we have some of the potential races that Kyle could run up in the next couple of days or weeks. But yeah, just we just ask that you guys just try and stay nice to some of these tracks on social media and stuff. I've seen a lot of people. I'm not calling out anybody in particular, but I've seen a lot of people that have been rude to some of the tracks on social media because Kyle's not going to be there. And obviously it sucks that Kyle might not make it to some of these races. But hey, if you're in the area of some of these tracks, I would recommend going out there and watching the racing. These Flow Racing Night in America series events have been really good so far this season, and really good car counts. So if you're a dirt fan, or if you're not, if you're just a Larson fan and he's not going to be there, I would recommend going out to the track and watching the racing. I'm sure it'll be a good time regardless. But moving on past the Flow Racing Night in America series stuff, after looking past Kansas this weekend. I have seen some rumors on social media about Kyle Larson potentially racing at the Bridgeport Speedway there in New Jersey with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint cars. Christopher Bell and Alex Bowman, I think, are confirmed to be going to this event, so potentially could see Kyle Larson there. But then the next night, also at the Marshalltown Speedway in Iowa, there is another Flow Racing Night in America Series event on that following night. So a lot of moving parts as far as Kyle Larson's schedule. Like I said before, there is that newsletter that you can go on Kyle's website and put your email in. They'll send out updates as far as whatever they want to put out. I know that's not exactly their schedule, but just some of the main stuff if you want to see. So definitely, I would recommend taking a look at that. And as to one other question that I've been seeing a lot, as far as Williams Grove in Pennsylvania goes this weekend, I know they're running Friday night and Saturday night. Weather doesn't look too good for those events, but even even without the weather, even if the weather did clear off, I don't think Kyle Larson's going to be able to make it to those because practice and qualifying for Kansas is on Saturday evening this week rather than in the morning. So it would be pretty much impossible for Kyle to make it there from Kansas to Pennsylvania for the Saturday night main event. Like I said, still could be at Spoon River on Wednesday night, and maybe even could be at Lincoln. You never know. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. And I am talking about Lincoln in Illinois, but it's definitely a lot of moving pieces with the schedule. So we'll just keep you guys updated on our socials as the situation evolves. Our first updates on this stuff will be on Twitter, and we'll obviously post it on all of our platforms when we get the chance. So, looking ahead to Kyle's schedule this weekend at the Kansas Speedway, like I said, practice and qualifying this weekend are going to be a little bit later in the day on Saturday, with practice being at 5 p.m. on Fox Sports 2 and qualifying immediately following that at 5:35 p.m. on Fox Sports 2. All these times are obviously in Eastern time, and then the Advent Health 400 will be there on Fox Sports 1 on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Like I said, we're going to try and keep everybody as up to date as possible on Kyle's schedule overall, so just follow along with us over on social media. Apologize for the short show today, but Dylan will be back next Wednesday to recap Kansas and all of the other racing that Kyle may do. So, thanks again for tuning in and listening to the show. As always, check out our links in our description for some awesome Kyle Larson Facebook groups. If you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please follow our podcast so you don't miss a thing. Have a great rest of the week, everyone, and enjoy the on track action this weekend. We will see you in the next episode.